Francis Page Media is where you are. And if you're not subscribed to this fabulous channel, as I always call it, my dear friends, please make sure to subscribe so that you stay up to date with all the latest in the world of our British royals. So if you have tuned in to this live, we are going to look at our latest news updates in the world of our British royals, guys. It's been a busy season again for our royals, and of course we have royals traveling abroad, and we have our royals indeed here in the UK, but they are all doing great work for us. Hello, Lady of the Lake. Great to see you. Thank you so much for joining this live, guys. It's great to be able to see you again today. Bonnie, great to see you. Thank you guys for tuning in, and what an incredible week this has been, guys. I hope every single one of you has had a good day and that you're all looking very much forward to a great weekend. Ooh, where should we start from, guys? Thank you so much for tuning and for joining us. Before I start, let me remind you that all the messages you hear here, all these conversations are my own thoughts, guys. Do your research on your side to ensure that you take in the right information. But again, who would love to come on air and give wrong information? I think we are all here to learn. We are all here to share knowledge and to take in the only truth. Okay, nobody wants to be here and listen to lies and everything. So we are only here for the truth. We are just here to line up behind our royals who are honestly doing a great job out there for our local communities. Hi Fiona, great to see you. Don't worry, you're not very late. I've only just logged in as well a minute or so ago. So it's great, guys, to catch up here. I made sure I advertised this live session because I knew, being a weekend, people would be sort of caught up somewhere else doing their stuff, or people would need a little bit of that reminder because the week has been so exhausting. Hello, Natalie. Great to see you. Thank you so much for joining in. So this live here today is to learn more about what our royals. Hi, Minai, Mishara. Thank you so much for joining in, guys. Please let us know where you're joining from in the comment section below so that we know which geographical locations you are, so we can connect more and get to share what we've had in our locations so far. But also when you tell us where you're from, we are able to understand. Hello, Lisa. Hi, Lady of the Lake again, UK, yes. And Lisa in USA, yes. Great to see you. Bonnie in the UK as well, yeah. Great to see you. Sunny Newcastle upon Tyne, England, yes. I'll be joining you soon to come and watch my football team play against Newcastle, hopefully next season. Hi, Julie from USA. Thank you for joining in, guys. Ooh, many fans from USA. Bonnie, take note of all our fans in USA. Our channel is growing. Thank you, guys. Fiona, I haven't seen you a lot on LinkedIn. I hope you've been great yourself. Yes, guys, so we are here today just to sort of catch up with what has been going on in the world of our royals. So where do we start from? So many stories, guys, so many stories. But I think let's get started off with that portrait of William and Kate. Okay, so that portrait has captured worldly attention, guys. Nobody saw that coming. So that portrait, hi Julie again. Yes, we are here for the absolute truth, Bonnie. I mean, Julie, nothing else. That's why we love this channel, because we want to build our audience and our messages on real truth, not lies, not anything else. Okay, so yes, so guys, where should we start from? Okay, so we are going to briefly go through the royal stories and stuff that has been happening in our royal circles this week. I mean, last week, call it last week, because this week is ended, hasn't it? So where should we start from, guys? I think let us start from that big story, Catherine and William's portrait that was released recently. That portrait has captured a lot of world attention, guys. Nobody saw that coming, and what a powerful image of those two royal sweethearts superimposed on this huge poster in Cambridgeshire. Of course, that was a gesture from Cambridgeshire, where Prince William, of course, and Catherine are representative. Okay, so they are the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge. So it's very much their village or their county or their area. So that portrait was a gesture from Cambridgeshire region that we love our royals. We love you, William and Kate, and this is you superimposed, looking elegant, dignified, looking very sweet, kind. That photograph, I'm talking about the portrait of William and Kate that was released recently, is very representative of everything great you've ever thought about William and Kate. Firstly, let us look at William's pose or way of standing in that blue suit, ghost pocketing, and his arm going round Catherine. Now, we don't see that quite often between William and Kate, because as royals, always they try to limit that PDA, or call it that personal, that affection, especially when they are in public. So to have a portrait put up showcasing William in a way he was holding wife Catherine in that picture was telling us that they are trying to bring out that balance between love, compassion, and hard work. Okay, so everything in one picture there. So that although we always see William and Kate, you know, not holding hands often, they are busy working, talking to their fans. These two love each other, and they also have those moments where, yes, those sort of lovely moments like holding hands, wrapping arms around each other's waists come in. They always have those moments, but very subtle. But even at home, that is when their true love comes out between the two. But while in public, they try to keep that kind of distance to stay professional. So that photograph or that portrait showing William with his arm around Catherine was telling us that these two are very much in love. And although they don't show this to us every day, they are what they are in that photograph or that portrait. But it was great to see as well Catherine wearing that dress, bringing out her feminism, feminine outlook. Okay, I hate comparing. Hi, Bonnie again. See, absolutely pure love. I'm with you 100%. 100%. Yeah. Okay. Yes. So with what we saw in that portrait again, I hate comparing, but if we are to compare, of course, we always look at Catherine and William and his brother Harry. And when we look at Harry's recent photographs or portraits with wife Meghan, we see Meghan wearing pants all the time. We see Meghan slightly in front of Harry, so Harry coming in from the back, and we tend to see Meghan's arms kind of folded onto her body, so we don't really see so much affection going on in some of those portraits. And for us, that tells us that maybe in their relationship, Meghan wears the pants more than Harry does. So, and we know what impact that has had on their decision making going forward. So compare that to that recent portrait we saw of Catherine and William, where we had Catherine wearing that dress and we have William wearing that suit. What a perfect reflection of a family that has dignity within love, respect, but also we know that decisions are well balanced. So there is a woman, there is a man in a family, and things wrap up really, really nicely. So I think that portrait, if you look at it very closely, William and Catherine, you can read so many things in that photo. And of course, the other thing that caught my interest was the fact that we see Catherine wearing, we see Catherine wearing her usual dresses that we are so much used to seeing her wear. Hi Sam, great, thank you so much for joining in. I thought you missed this one, but hey ho, great to see you. Did it help, guys, that I advertised this live? Because I'm seeing my regular faces now showing up here. Okay, hi Bonnie. Yes, yes, totally agree with you on that. So yes, so with this portrait, Catherine and William portrait, and what Catherine was wearing. Um, Thank you, Sam. Catherine was wearing that dress, that green dress. I think it's from the vampire's wife, but we know she wears that dress quite often. And what that did to us then, looking at that portrait, we are able to relate to a woman we always see. And we are able to relate to those very outfits that look great on her always. But what a way to connect with your audience. Have you ever turned up to an audience wearing or putting on something they are used to seeing you in? Okay, it makes you feel just like them. It makes you feel normal. So when you look at that portrait with that cut or that pose that William was cutting and pocketing one arm holding, very, very simple but elegant and so dignified. So, guys, I thought that portrait was great, and it is the first ever portrait of William and Kate to be commissioned at a county level, like we have seen. And the funding for this particular project came from citizens within that Cambridgeshire region. So they all pulled funds together, put this up. They were not funds that were raised by the government or anything. It was pure love from local citizens who said, right, listen, let us superimpose a portrait of our loved royals and put it up for everybody to see, so that we keep reminding ourselves of the great work that they are doing for not just our community, but the whole of UK and the world over. No, me too. But actually, it's a portrait. It's lovely, and it was done by Jamie Correth. I think Jamie Correth is one of William's renowned artists. So they've been following him for quite some time. So when he did that for them, it was also a gesture of, listen, I've known you for a long time. I've been following up on your work. I've been looking at your relationship closely from day one. This is what I think you are at in this point in time. Boom, that portrait was born. Okay, and we hear that the work or that art of that photograph started when William and Catherine got 10 years in their marriage. So on their 10th anniversary, that's when the artist started putting together that artwork for William and Kate. Okay, so again, he would have sat down and looked at and examined William and Kate, assessed their relationship fully, but also looked at what they have done, studied their hearts and souls, and made sure that he put up something that was going to be representative of these two royal sweethearts. Did I miss that? It is very modern indeed, very, very modern. Okay, so of course William and Kate. So That's a very good question there, Fiona. Thank you for asking. Of course, we are living in, although we've been here for some time now, near 3 decades, we started myself, I started following royalty more when I joined the British Army. And then that also meant that I started observing these royals on a daily basis, the way they used to talk to us, their behavior behind closed doors. And actually thought, oh, William and Kate are very, very sweet. They are lovely couples. So for me, I think they are that couple that is very representative of our era and also going forward. It's a couple that is very much holding the future of the British monarchy. Now, we'll talk about Princess Royal Anne, such a brilliant royal. And of course, we know Princess Royal Anne has gone through her relationships, as we know, and now she's married to Mr. Lawrence today. So she's also incredibly lovely, very hardworking royal. But when it comes to couples and how they are portraying their image and what they have achieved so far in such a short time they have lived. Okay, so 10 years they've been together. I think William and Kate have achieved a milestone in their relationship. And relationships are not like honey and milk. They have their own problems. Relationships have their own challenges. Okay, and let us not forget there are also, normal people like us, families like us. So they are bound to have their own issues. But it is very interesting to see the way they handle their issues going forward. I think for William and Kate, they always sit together, talk through issues if they do happen, but also the fact that they are role models who have children watching their behavior every day. They are a couple that very much the Queen believes in. Okay, they have that challenge of living up to that standard, not only in their relationship, but also through what they do. And I think they have done that very, very well. So I take my hat off for these two brilliant royal sweethearts. And I think the future of the British monarchy is very much in safe hands. So guys, if you liked that portrait, drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Tell us what you think about that pose that William cut, standing at an angle of 75 degrees, pocketing, and then his left arm, riding round Catherine, and then we have Catherine arching her back inside slightly and looking at the camera angle, looking away from the camera at an angle of around 86, 87, 90 degrees. That was interesting to see, because what Catherine there was telling us as well is that, look at me, okay, I'm very happy when a woman shows you their neck side, okay, that means a lot, okay, woman showing you their neck. She wasn't afraid to tell us, listen, look at me, stood there very proudly, okay, knowing that she is the Duchess of Cambridge. So guys, tell us what you think. No, I agree with you. They would never put a foot wrong. And the Queen loves them for that, because they are very respectful of the Queen. They are very diligent. Now, between Catherine and William, each of them has around 200 patronages. So now that sounds like a huge number, but they are actually taking on more, more patronages. And every year they are choosing which one to go and pay a visit. Okay, so they have so much on their plate. But to balance that work with family life is a huge challenge, and this is where people actually don't understand. These royals work their feet off 24/7. Imagine recently, yes, the Father's Day photograph, yes, I mean, these two are just, and that's what happens when you marry a sweetheart, when you stay in a relationship for that long, when you get to understand yourselves inside out before you commit into a serious relationship. Now, this is what William did, okay? He knew Catherine so well. They had their ups and downs. They split up at one point, stayed away from each other for some good month, if not a year. And then they were able to assess, do I need him? Do I need her? What am I missing? And they got back together after working their heads around and actually making sure that, yes, I think this relationship is for me. Uh, yes, right from day one. Okay, and it's very, very difficult for a young man like William was at the time. Okay, Catherine was so beautiful as well, very down to earth, a lady. But also, when you look at how William was at the time, going away on those tours and engagements, the women who used to throw themselves upon him and all that stuff, the challenges of navigating through, through to identifying the right woman was always going to be one of those biggest challenges for William. So by the time he found Catherine and said, this is my woman, this lady belongs to me, he had 100% made up his mind. And now we are seeing an accomplished relationship where you would not even tell if these two are not happy on that day or if they are, because they simply know and read each other very well. Okay. Now, speaking about royal protocol. Okay. Oh, yes, Bonnie, that's well said. Very, very well said. Okay. He learned from his granny very, very much. And of course, he has been observing his granny and the late Prince Philip and how they were in a relationship, solid, strong, candid. And he said, no, listen, this is what I want to be when I grow up. And but what is also very interesting is how Catherine knows to give that respect to William. So on many occasions we see royal wives sometimes eclipsing their husbands when it comes to fame or when it becomes to popularity. I think we saw this with Prince Charles, where Diana towered over Prince Charles, but also we are now seeing this in Meghan and Harry, where Meghan is now putting a foot ahead of Harry most of the time. So we see royal wives, having that sort of pattern of behavior. Now, when we look at how Catherine is approaching her relationship, it is a very different story. Okay, so Catherine has the possibility of towering over William 100%, but this is a lady who knows her limits. This is a lady who has grown up from a family that values family, that has those very special values of love, kindness, decision making in terms of being a unit. You know what I mean there. But also a family that is not divided. Catherine comes from mother, dad love themselves so much, sisters, brothers, that respect. And these are the values we are seeing Catherine bring into this relationship, and it's serving that relationship very well. As Prince Philip would be with her and knew where to be, where to stand. Absolutely spot on with that. If you guys are following me on TikTok, Fiona, I think you are. I don't know if Bonnie is, but guys, if you're on this live here, if you're Lady of the Lake, I don't know if you're following me on TikTok, you will see that I mostly share short video clips, but my words on there always pinpoint something very special that I want my audience to pick out in these videos. And I tend to share videos of Catherine respecting protocol at all angles, okay? Never putting a foot wrong, okay? Yeah. Oh, Bonnie, that's what I used to think as well. But, I think sometimes it's worth just popping over there. You know, you don't have to be sharing stuff or whatever, but sign up, get an account, and just go over there. Lots of royal posts. You know, we have so many TikTokers there sharing messages around the royal family and all that. Um, but yeah, give it a try, Bonnie. Trust me, you will love some of the messages there. Fiona will bear witness for me here. But yes, so I tend to share videos of Catherine and William, you know, and highlight those moments where you see Catherine observing royal protocol. And for Catherine, it's not that she is not confident stepping forward out of that zone. It's not that she's. It's not that she doesn't want to, you know, to step forward or whatever. But for Catherine, she knows that when you come into an establishment like the royal family itself, please do, Bonnie. And when you go, my TikTok account is still under Francis Page Media. You can't miss it. That big round face there behind a red banner. You can't miss it. Yes. So, but for Catherine coming into this relationship with William, she knew what was lying ahead in that relationship, okay? And here is Catherine who came into this relationship not for show or not for privileges or not to become famous as we know Mrs. X somewhere else. Catherine came into this relationship because he wanted to see William become even better. And also because Catherine, besides loving William, he wanted William to get that family life, that great family life, because he knows William lost his mother at age 7, I think, was he 7 years? And so there are quite a few things that William would have loved to see, you know, from a mother. So here Catherine comes in from a family that was very stable, loving, caring, all those good things. And we are now seeing Catherine supporting William through his uh, teenage life, call it an adult life. And here we are having a future king who is now in a place where he can take those substantive decisions as we see him do. Okay. Oh yes, yes. Okay, so quite a young age, isn't it, Bonnie? Okay, so with 1997, that was when the mom died. But yes, so when you have someone stepping into an establishment with a mindset like Catherine had, hi Angela, great to see you. Where are you joining us from, Angela? Is that UK, US? Please share with us in the comments section so that we get to know where our audience is best. Yes, so when we see Catherine stepping into this into this establishment, the royal family, we know that for Kate, it was her coming in to unite with this young man who she wanted to see him blossom into a great man he is today. And I think she has achieved that. If we are to give Catherine a bachelor's degree, I think that would be an A+, okay, for Catherine there. But also big up for William for keeping this relationship in a way it is, because we know how William himself is very busy. We know the women, okay, who would love to have William, okay, and we know the busy schedule they do have, okay, but I think we are having a man who is also very helpful, always chipping in to help Catherine with the kids. I think we've seen them take the kids for baby days out, and you see William tidying the kids up, getting them out of the van, holding Prince Philip and rather Prince George, while Catherine is trying to sort out little Charlotte, okay? So we have a united force here in this relationship, and that's what that's what has made it successful, okay? So if we look at whatever is going on the other side of William's brother, Okay, we are seeing something completely different. We are seeing the opposite. We are pretty much seeing decision making which is one sided, and this is where problems come in. Because if you're going to make decisions, decisions must be made as a family, as a unit. Agree on things, okay? Have similar values, okay? So in the other relationship, Meghan and Harry, because we see one of them, Harry wanting to go, Meghan wanting to go into politics. Now we hear she wants to go into radio, presenting, and television, Spotify, and I'm here thinking I don't think these were Harry's values. I don't think Harry really loves these projects here. But he's got no choice because decision is pretty much one-sided, coming from the other, from one person who wears the pants in this relationship. Okay, so this is where William and Kate are becoming strong and stronger every day, both in their family, in the presence of the Queen, but also how the whole world looks at these two with so much respect. Okay, so it's great for us to be sitting here, guys, and having these warm conversations because they help us to put sense to how things are panning out in our world of royals. Okay, but also an audience that wants to see the royal family survive for as long as it can. We always want to put through people we see have got the right values, people who are serving their communities, and people who are going to be representing their local communities in the right way. People who are not going to be selfish. Okay. So look at William and Kate and their homes where they've been staying. These are residences where ex-royals used to live. Princess Diana used to live, Kensington Palace, and all these small cottages attached to Windsor Castle and all these other areas, St. James Palace. Okay, these are royal accommodation buildings. These are royal homes. Okay, so for someone who is going to carry that flag for the royal family in more generations to come, they have to live within. The environment is also very, very important. Living within those environments where, okay, they are going to comply with whatever rules, regulations, everything that are set up, as opposed to, so let's say, for example, Harry right now lives in California in a big mansion in Montecito, near Oprah Winfrey. I think, who else is there? Which other celebrities are there? I don't know. Will Smith or whatever celebrities living there. So you would imagine that that is quite of a different lifestyle for Harry, and I think he looks very, very lonely there because he was so much used to living here, if you know what I mean. But then when we talk about decisions being one-sided and being made by someone in a relationship, we can understand here that those decisions, I think, were for Meghan. Moving Harry from here to United States to California, first into Canada. Harry didn't even have a clue. I don't even think he knew where Canada was on the map because, with Harry, he was always going on royal missions. I know he traveled into these areas with his mom, dad back in the days. But as a person thinking of going to Canada and live there would have been the last thing on Harry's mind, let alone where he is right now. Okay. But this is what you get when you get in a relationship with someone who is going to make those decisions on your behalf. But coming back to William and Catherine here, we are seeing a united front in decision making, the way they do their things, and you can always tell by looking at a couple and their behavior, their pattern of behaviors. So most recently we have seen Catherine going out with William as a pair on these engagements. We used to have Catherine go out alone when she visited that baby bank somewhere. She went to market her um, her Alia's project in London recently. Okay, so we've seen her solo engagements, and now we are seeing Catherine get back to doing these engagements together with husband William. That also tells us that although she does her solo engagements, sorry guys, she misses going out with husband. She misses that as well, and that is great to see them showing up together. That little pat on the back for William to make way for Catherine to come in and all that stuff. So you can always see, if we constantly see Catherine going out alone on these engagements, you would maybe start to think, maybe there is something that is not quite right here. But we see that out of the blue, Catherine has a solo engagement here and there, and then falls back to these double engagements with her husband because she misses her husband. She loves her. When they go out on these engagements as a pair, they bring out that so much energy, and families can relate. And doing things together, William is chatting to an audience on the left-hand side. We have Catherine on the right-hand side, also dealing with an audience there. So they are doing their work perfectly as a unit. And this is what we are going to see going forward. So we are up for great, great things in the future for Catherine and William. I'm so excited, guys. Yes, yeah, doing things good, they are together, right? They are always, and even those engagements where Catherine is to go alone, okay, I would imagine these two sitting together the night before and sharing as many ideas as they can before they all set foot out of the door to go and attend to their congregations wherever they go. Okay, and we have seen Catherine now mirroring William's body language when they are out. Okay, that sort of nodding heads, looking at each other to acknowledge statements, completing statements. There are some times when they are having conversations where William is talking, and halfway he decides to stop to allow his wife Catherine to come in and complete that statement. It's really great to see, because that again shows us what a working pair these two are. Okay, so guys, for this conversation here tonight, catching up on this royal news, I thought it was great for us to come and just have a bit of a moment, just talking about that recent portrait in relation to Catherine's relationship with her husband, William. Okay, and apparently they are going to throw a joint birthday party, because Catherine's birthday party was in January, but they did not celebrate because obviously we were bang on in the pandemic. So Catherine, bless her, didn't do a party at all. Remember, she instead went out to, what did she do on her birthday? She decided to go and do something for the community. I remember I reported on that. If you go back to my videos, you'll see a post I put up that Catherine has chosen to do this on her birthday. Okay. Oh, I really wish they do, Fiona. I really wish they do. But they have they've got so many guests on their lists. But I know, hey ho, one day they will invite me. I know that for sure, guys. But there's that birthday coming up. It's going to be a joint birthday, and it's either going to be at Windsor Castle, or the Queen is actually suggesting they do it at Sandringham Estate. And this is going to be a birthday fully sponsored by Queen Elizabeth. So for Catherine and William, this is going to be a massive gift for the two. And of course, we have never seen a birthday party of these two together. So it's going to be the first of its kind, where both of them are going to be cutting that cake. So it's like celebrating another marriage, isn't it? Great things, great things. But aren't we so lucky to have these two? Okay. Oh yeah, Fiona. I think I might get crash this. To be fair, I'll have to. I tell you what, I might have to send the Cambridges an email, special email, to say, listen, can I pop around for that birthday party? It would be great. Okay. Um, but it's great to see that they have these arrangements coming up. So this birthday party, guys, is, I think, in the next coming few weeks we shall all know about it. Andre, yay! Great to see you. You nearly missed this one, but hey ho, you arrived. Um, just over 40 minutes now, but guys, whoever is on this live, Fiona, Bonnie, Andre, now you're very welcome. Sam, wherever you are, truly appreciate your support. Let's keep these messages going. Serendipity. I love that name. Thank you so much for joining in, guys. Yes, so we've got this channel going. We've really got these messages going. Yeah, so moving away from Catherine, guys, we will talk briefly about Meghan and Harry before we round up with Prince Charles's trip to Rwanda. Hi, lady, you've popped in as well. I thought you're gonna miss this one. Great to see you. Yes, so when Meghan and Harry, of course, as we know, are on the verge of losing their Spotify projects, their Netflix projects, and everything. And I think the reason why, okay, the reason why is because we have a situation where the Platinum Jubilee celebrations, didn't go well for Meghan and Harry. We saw what happened when they came here, and how the public completely ignored, okay, ignored the pair, but also the boos that and the fact that Meghan and Harry left before the Platinum Jubilee celebrations finished. That was a great that was something that made the staff at Netflix and Spotify to start rethinking their future projects with Meghan and Harry, because one thing I know is Netflix wanted to see whether the Sussexes were very popular, with people. They also wanted to see how their behavior is going to pan out here. And actually, when they saw how things went for the Sussexes, the Netflix thought, right, are we going to lose an audience here? Okay? Are we going to lose an audience here if we continue giving projects to people that are not very popular, okay, with the audience, to people that are bored, to people that are not in touch with the royal family, like they always claim. So I think this is where Netflix started coming in, okay? This is where Netflix started thinking, right, I think we need to rethink most of these projects we're giving to the Harrys. So you can see that recently we started hearing those stories of Netflix dropping series, Netflix pulling out Meghan and Harry from certain projects and all that. Those actions, I think, were triggered by the Platinum Jubilee results, okay? When they looked at the Sussexes and their behavior and how the whole Platinum Jubilee season, okay, the whole Platinum Jubilee season treated them and how they were so out of touch with the public, they started asking questions. Are these the figures we want to put forward with projects? Or, of course, they were going to risk losing a big audience. And to be fair, Netflix, Spotify, I think have lost a lot of audience. They've lost so many people simply because of the fact that Meghan and Harry are spearheading some of those projects that are going to be upcoming. So that was a very big determinant for Netflix slashing off some of these projects from the Meghan and Harry's. Okay, the way they looked at them during the Platinum Jubilee in relation to how the audiences are perceiving them. When Netflix is fronting these programs, and when Netflix wants to gain more subscribers on that, they are looking to taking on people who are going to drive that traffic into Netflix. So they are wondering whether Meghan and Harry are the right couple to do that. And of course, they are very right to start questioning Harry and Meghan's popularity, because of recent, this popularity has hit the lowest. You know, it's at its lowest. Okay. So, my friends, thank you so much. I have my code capital here. Yes, Bonnie, what did you say? Yeah, that's it. He didn't get that photograph. That was a very big turn off for Netflix, because obviously they were like, oh, even the Queen doesn't want to get a photograph, let alone of Lilibet. You know, what is happening? What's going on here? Okay. And hi, Lisa. Great to see you. Oh, I tell you what, they are losing fans here in United States, in Australia, okay, Africa, okay, and they have brought this up onto themselves, guys. Meghan and Harry were one time the most loved royal couples. Those days they had just met, and the world thought, right, okay, so here we are, we've got some form of balance within the royal family, we've got, okay. But they ruined this up. They really did. And clearly there was an agenda here, because you have someone who's just joined the royal family, and within 6 months, they want out, they are out. Okay, so that tells us a lot. Okay, and of course that interview that they did, that interview, we are always going to fall back to that interview, guys, please. Excuse me for bringing it up here, but when we are having these conversations about the Sussexes, that interview will always be a point of reference. So that interview and whatever was said, for me, really shone a torch in Meghan, and you know, it really highlighted the sort of character she is. Oh God, these messages have popped up again. Okay, sorry guys, I've just had to block that from here because it looks really terrible. Yes, so for example, when Meghan says, oh, I was nearly dying and committing suicide, and those are big statements to make, especially when you're that very new in a relationship. Okay, but also the wedding, saying the wedding was held the previous day, what we saw was not the real wedding. That I just couldn't put a word to why she actually said that. But again, it shows us the sort of character we were having. And at that point, actually, I thought, this is not going to be looking good going forward. Okay. And while all that was happening, we were having Catherine here feeling very emotional, not just because she was a weak woman, whatever, but she was really feeling sorry for Harry, because she really likes Harry as a brother to her husband. You can already see the conversations they had here. Remember them when they were a great unit, when they came up with the Heads Together project. that mental health campaign when it had just started, and how they used to have a lot of fun, going on these mental health campaigns as a unit. And the Harry of today, we are seeing who cannot even keep eye contact with his brothers, who's buried himself somewhere in United States, and he says that's where his home is. Okay. How Bonnie? Okay. Who in there, right? My goes on it. I should ask that question. That it's who would do that? Okay. Symptoms of each other. Shame. Okay. Absolutely, Fiona. Absolutely. Okay. So for us here as royalists who read things, um, from a distance, we are seeing a relationship that is crumbling. Harry and Meghan, we are seeing a relationship that is crumbling. But again, Harry has got himself into that saga, that fracas, and it's going to be very difficult for him to come out, because you have two children in this relationship now. You have a brother who told you that, why don't you wait to rush into this marriage? Why don't you wait and see? Why don't you study someone? Listen, it took me 8-9 years to get married to Catherine because I wanted to get certain things clear. Why don't you wait for that? There's no rush at all. Okay, there's no rush at all. And this sparked off a fury between the two brothers. So right now that Harry's already stuck in there, you guys will agree with me, he's stuck in there. I doubt if he's gonna come back to William and say, I wish I took your advice, because of course we know his ego. He won't say that. So what he's going to do is he's going to get stuck in there. He's just going to stuck in there, pretend, and just carry that on. But whatever will always happen is the royal family again will always be the one to pick up the pieces, because we've seen that happen on so many times. Okay. Okay. Absolutely. Absolutely. So I saw there is that meeting that was it an interview when they were asking them how they met, how long it took them, who made the decision to get married. You would see that Meghan was very everything. Me, myself, hey, the hand actions, squeezing Harry's palms and all that. These are all gestures that, listen, don't talk. It's me saying, it's me speaking. I'll do the talking. You just nod your head. Okay? But yes, so as royalists, of course, we enjoy talking about these conversations, not because we don't like the Sussexes, but we are just having to exchange these views to see, why are things the way they are? Try to put sense to things here. And why people love Kate and William is not that, because, they are here or they are basic, whatever. It's because of their actions. It's because of their kindness. Because of the respect they have for their family. You will never see them bash their family the way the Harrys did. Even when they have problems, these problems are solved from within as a unit, because that's what you do. And that's what people will respect you for. Okay. So guys, that's that about these two couples. William and Kate versus Harry and Meghan. But back to our portrait, guys. Sorry, I took you off that. William and Catherine are humble, and that's a very big appealing clarity. Yes, Angela, well said. So well said. Okay. Harry deserves to be happy. I feel that Meghan trapped him. Of course. Fiona, I can't agree with you any more than I have. Okay. Yes, and we get so we get so worried for Harry, because he's by his own. He's all by himself up there. We don't know what goes on in that big mansion of them in the night, in the day. When we see him, the body language tells you that here is a prince who used to be happy, but now he doesn't reflect all that. So, and he loved his brother so much, Harry did. His family is here. I think it was a pure lie when he said my new home is United States, because I don't think that's the case. Sorry, guys who are on this live and you're from United States. It's not to say that United States is not a great place, but in terms of family, in terms of having your friends, okay, in terms of those connections, going away from an area to a totally new area, okay, in the way that they did, leaving everything behind. Your patronages, some of these patronages, uh, were uh, at this were so much Harry's heart. Harry loves these patronages, his military achievements. Throwing that away, okay, to to just going in the United States and sit down there and become a chief impact officer in an establishment, it's really, I don't think he's very happy at all. Right, he seemed to be so family oriented, but now he seems happy to sell out and sell stories, whether they are true or exaggerated. Yes. Can you imagine? With nobody saw this coming. I had never thought in my life that we shall have Harry vanish from here to go and come here. Remember, guys, when the Platinum Jubilee celebrations, even before the Platinum Jubilee celebrations, we had the Thanksgiving service for the Duke of Edinburgh. He didn't come down here, and yet he was very, very close to his grandfather, and he didn't come here. And I don't think he willingly didn't come here. I think he was dying to come here, but somebody stopped him from coming here. So you can tell that he's living. I wouldn't love to be in that young man's shoes. I really wouldn't. Okay. But guys, anyway, we hope, time will tell, but we hope things will change for the better. And William, as the next in line to become king, obviously will not sit happily here knowing his brother is lost somewhere in a different world, without trying to do whatever he can to try and get him out of that mess. I know he will. It's going to be a matter of time. But also William still has a lot on his hands to deal with right now, okay? He has his family here, which is still very young, so he's raising his family. His grandma, Queen Elizabeth, has been known very, very well. So him and wife Catherine are doing rounds at Windsor Castle to help the Queen. So at this point in time, that is William's first priority, making sure that Her Majesty the Queen is well. And I think we've heard recently that William is moving closer to Windsor Castle, closer to the Queen. And the reason for that as well is that he wants to be an arm's length. Okay? I don't think it will last, to be honest. It just needs to run its course. That's my own opinion. And your opinion is obviously right, So let's just keep our eyes open for as long as we're here. We shall see what comes out of it. Okay, but one thing we want, we wish them is we wish them well. We never want to wish them bad. We wish them well, as long as they don't throw the royal family under the bus like they've done recently. As long as they don't interfere in the good work of the royal family, we shall always wish them well. Okay. Protocol to adhere to. Yeah. And guys, Queen Elizabeth, she rarely speaks about these subjects, but she must be very, very disappointed in her great-grandson. Is it grandson or great-grandson? She must be very disappointed. And actions speak louder than words. By the time Queen Elizabeth decides not to take a photograph of herself with granddaughter, is it granddaughter Lilibet? By the time she decides not to do that, guys, we know that she surely was not happy and that she is not willing to associate herself in any shape or form with these parties. Okay. Great granddaughter, yes. Bonnie, thank you so much. Great granddaughter, yes. Lilibet. By the time Queen Elizabeth said, I'm not having photographs, not even Queen Elizabeth's own photographer was allowed to take those photographs because she thought, what if, I'm gone tomorrow and these photographs appear in public. Okay, so she made it very clear we are meeting, but there is no photographic history here. And can you imagine Queen Elizabeth saying that? Because Queen Elizabeth loves children. She loved Harry. She loves William. She loves those kids. But for her to turn around and say that no photographs, surely she must really, really be upset by these two's actions. Okay, and she knows that obviously whatever they are doing is in the interest of them making money, because it's very expensive living in United States, let alone in big mansions like what they are living in right now. Okay, yes. So she's very clever. This lady, Queen Elizabeth, the older she gets, the wiser she becomes. Have you seen her recent haircut? She kept her trademark curls in there, but she shortened her hair. And she looks like a young woman again, back in action. Next thing you're going to see, she's out in public engagements now. Okay, she knows she's still very much in control. And all these decisions we hear going on that, okay, Harry's, they are coming here, but they won't be given seats in the royal box. They are coming here, but they won't be attending this event. These decisions are made by Queen Elizabeth in the background. She knows. She's very strict. She's a grandmother, she's a parent, she's a leader, but she also knows when you overstep that mark. Okay. And nobody knows Queen Elizabeth more than William. I think Prince William has got more telling off from Queen Elizabeth than anybody else. And that's why we see him very, very great at what he does now, Prince William. Remember that very that balcony event when Prince William knelt down to have a conversation with little Prince George, I think, and the Queen tapped his shoulder and said to him, William, get up, get up. So you could see a grandmother, a queen who is very strict when it comes to work, when it comes to that public appearance and everything. So her name means a lot to her. She has built her name for decades and decades. 96 years of age she is. And you're having someone just walk in right now and wants to destroy all this image Queen Elizabeth has set up for all these years. Okay. When we are having Meghan and Harry here with those interviews, with those Netflix projects, it's like they are ruining the image that the Queen has set up for this whole establishment. So nobody does that and expect to walk away without any form of punishment. So when you saw Queen Elizabeth saying no photographs on this event, birthday event, I don't care whether it's my granddaughter or not, no photographs, she was making her message loud and clear that I'm not happy with what you are doing, I'm not happy with what is going on. And guys, whoever is watching this live, these are some of those pointers that sent a very strong message to Meghan and Harry and made them leave even before the Platinum Jubilee finished. Celebrations were over because they left halfway, didn't they? They didn't attend the Jubilee pageant. They were not seen at the Buckingham Palace party. Mm. Absolutely, Bonnie, absolutely. The interview took us by surprise because we were expecting to hear things like, okay, I was welcomed in the family. Maybe I didn't get to understand the values, and I found that living a royal life was going to be a little bit challenging for me. And at this point in time, I thought this is the right time for me to leave before, I get myself into more trouble. And we were expecting such conversations. But the way these conversations got twisted and came out took everybody by surprise. Okay? And I know Prince Harry knows this. I know he knows. He sees these things happen. But he has to stand that ground for his wife because he got himself in it. He has to he has to swallow all these things and just sit down there behind the curtains and say, oh my F1 days. Right, guys, look at that time. Nearly an hour plus. One hour and a half. I'm keeping you guys for too long. Don't you think we should round this up, guys? What do you think about these stories? Anyway, leaving Harry and Meghan to that let us briefly look at that story of Prince Charles in Rwanda. We've seen him meeting Boris Johnson, and they are attending the Commonwealth Heads of Government meetings in Rwanda. So these Commonwealth meetings are meetings held to just kind of catch up with where other Commonwealth nations are in terms of their economies, security, and those things, but also to see whether they still want to stay in that union. So the Commonwealth, guys, has helped countries to, don't forget, most of these countries are still having their budgets funded by the UK, but also they have, UK contributes a lot to their tourism, to administration, to policies, whether educational policies, and trading partnerships. So these meetings are all about trying to see where these countries stand in terms of the relationship with England here. So we have Prince Charles down there for a few days, and he happened to meet Boris, who's also attending this summit. And he gave a very wonderful speech, Prince Charles. If you've missed that, you can catch up with that on the news, or I think the Royal Family Channel here has shared a clip of Prince Charles's speech in Rwanda. So yeah, but Prince Charles is really doing well down there, and that speech was brilliant. Him talking about giving Commonwealth nations the power to decide, to make decisions for themselves if they want to stay in this league or if they want out, like he did in Barbados. So he's given them a choice to do that. But I can see this Commonwealth still wanting to hold into that bondage of being part of the Commonwealth, because there are more benefits of staying in than out. Because don't forget, most of these African countries are highly corrupt, okay? So being in the Commonwealth means that these countries are always scrutinized, they're always held accountable for their expenditures and all that stuff. So if you see them come out of the Commonwealth, trust me, within a year, 3 years, these countries will be on the streets begging again. So I think the Commonwealth is good for them. So those are the conversations Prince Charles is having with the Commonwealth heads of government down in Rwanda. And of course, he is standing in for Queen Elizabeth, because Queen Elizabeth would right now be down there in Rwanda for the Commonwealth meetings. But we know at 96, of course, with his mobility issues, he can't travel any far. Okay, and not that she didn't want to go, but I think we would like to see Our Majesty the Queen rest, have a bit of, these, when you're 96 now, you have trained people to do the job any way you want, and she has trained Prince Charles for 72 years. Princess Royal Anne, Prince William. We are very confident in these senior royals standing in for Queen Elizabeth. So we hope those head of Commonwealth meetings go well, and we hope to see Prince Charles travel back here safely, again to be just here in time for his son's upcoming birthday, William and Kate's birthday, which is due, I think, in the next coming few weeks, at either Windsor Castle or Sandringham Estate. So we will keep you up to date with those details, guys. But for now, that brings us to the end of our live tonight. Okay. Bonnie, yes, that is something that is being debated. Okay, that's something being debated. Thank you, guys. Fiona, that's a good question. Thank you, Andre, for those acknowledgements. Thank you so much. Truly appreciate. And you guys empower me so much. Without you, I don't think these messages would make any meaning. But truly appreciate your support. Bonnie, thank you so much. Fiona, that's a good question. Prince Charles, will he become king? He has been waiting for 73 years to get that throne, Prince Charles. Not that he has wanted. He actually still wants his mother to hold on for as long as she can. Okay. But Prince Charles, over the years, has become this intelligent, confident, and I think he now exudes a lot of those leadership traits that we see in his mother. And when you see, Prince Charles has one signature confidence, we call it confidence trait. You see when he stands and put his hands at the back all the time, you see him doing this, whether Queen Elizabeth is there or is not. That is a confidence stance. When you see a man stand and put his hands in the back, always look at that man in terms of the confidence they exude. They always want to show their posture. They all of it. This is me. There's nothing to hide. This is what you get. Okay, so Prince Charles has developed into that very confident leader. Okay, thank you so much, Sam. And I think it will be fair for him to at least sit in that chair. I'm still answering your question, Fiona. I think it's very fair for him to at least sit in that chair, at least wear that crown, even if he's going to do it for one day, just to reward him for that patience. Can you imagine waiting for all those years only for the crown to pass you? Okay. One thing we know for sure is that William is going to become king. However, we also know that Prince Charles will hold on to it for a few years before passing it on to William. And this is purely because Prince William is still raising his family. He still have 3 young children. You know the pressure that comes with being a king, okay, traveling doubles and all that stuff. Catherine still needs support. So whatever decision is being made as to who becomes the next king is pretty much based on the fact that William is still raising a family. And Prince Charles has pretty much got his hands free now, okay? Apart from playing grandfather on those busy days when Prince Louis is being naughty, like we saw for the Platinum Jubilee celebrations. Okay, but whether Prince William becomes king or not before Charles, we are seeing a Charles Prince William partnership. We are seeing that great partnership, because even if when Prince Charles becomes king, he's always going to be having his son alongside him in making those decisions. They have already started making those decisions together. The allocation of seats at the Platinum Jubilee Thanksgiving service at St. Paul's Cathedral was done by Charles and William. Okay, they are the ones who allocated those seats on the second row, the other side, opposite to the senior royals, to Meghan and Harry. Okay, when we look at who made those decisions on who stands at the balcony for the Platinum Jubilee alongside the Queen, we also know very much that those decisions were made by Prince William together with his dad. So they are a partnership going forward. Uh, the other example I can also give is when they stopped Prince Andrew from showing up for, when was it? Was it that recent event? Was it the Gator whatever event, which was recent? Prince William again stopped Prince Andrew from showing up. He said, you either show up or I don't. So we can see that we have that partnership already between Prince Charles and Prince William. Okay, so even if Prince Charles gets in now, okay, we shall see him working with Prince William very, very closely, which to me is absolutely great, because yes, ceremony of the Gator, yes, absolutely, Bonnie, thank you for that. So just to summarize your question there, your question, Fiona, we can see a partnership in Prince Charles and William. And yes, Charles will become king, because that's what Queen Elizabeth has already set up for us when she said, my son Prince Charles is going to become king and Camilla will be queen consort. We already know now that Queen already set Prince Charles onto that path. Okay, that's what she wants to see. But they sat together and actually had these discussions that they want to see William raise his family before he can fully get himself immersed into full leadership. Anyway, guys, I think that's enough of me talking tonight. Thank you so much for every single one of you who has been on this live till the very end. And those comments, incredible comments, wonderful thoughts from you there, Fiona. Bonnie, Sam, well done for keeping up on this live. Truly appreciate you guys. We have Andre somewhere. We have, sorry if your name has vanished off the screen, Lily, Angela. You guys are absolutely awesome. Without you, this live would not have been whatever it has been tonight. So have a great weekend, guys. I will also schedule another live. I think today's Friday, Saturday, maybe Sunday, guys. I tend to have a miss in between, so that we can digest what has been happening, and then we also have something to talk about. But have a great weekend, Fiona. Stay safe. Bonnie, you guys, Lily, Sam, Andre, and everybody who is on this live. I see 16 of you right now. Great to have your support. I will send another message via the community tab of when our next live will be and the timings, and maybe our phone line might be ready and we can have some phone conversations where you guys will get to call in and have to share some thoughts with us here. But for now, guys, have an awesome weekend. I love you all. Take care and keep up that great support for our royal family and their incredible achievements for our local communities. Bye-bye, guys. Bye.